Legal vision, I would like to talk about independence of the judiciary in India. Whether it's a really independence of the judiciary, if you go very deep, it's an overview. It is true. It's not a critical view, it's an overview that I'm going to say in what's happening. And as far as the independence of the judiciary is the independence of the judiciary, and the Constitution asserts on it. In the separation of the power, when you go for it, legislature, executive and the judiciary plays a key role in the independence of the judiciary. As far as the Supreme Court and High Courts in India are concerned, they play a very key role in the separation of the powers, also independence of the judiciary. Because the judges are excluded, there's also excluded means there's also not to be disturbed. The independence of the judiciary need not to be disturbed by the legislature or the executive. They should not also disturb. That's a space given to the judiciary in India. For example, currently one matter is going on against one judge, Arma, the person is indicted and in a has called matter and transferred to the parent court, that is also Allahabad High Court. But more it is also matters are brewing on him, but he is defending himself. It is also the really best example of independence of the judiciary. Here, the executive can't do anything against the judges. Also, the legislature can't do anything except impeachment. When it goes for impeachment, it needs a two-thirds majority in the parliament. That is a separate case. But whether it's needed in the current case, that also really the government has to think. The judiciary only can decide. That's why the Supreme Court of India has interfered. It's facing really more bar council. The Bar Association of the High Courts, and also CJ, there's also meetings. Chief Judges of India is meeting the Bar Association members and discussing the matters. It proves the independence of the judiciary. One judge is indicted, but how the matter is decided and is handled, it's up to the Supreme Court of India. It is an independent of the judiciary, not to be disturbed and fascinated by the executives, by the legislature. The legislature, the Sasson, cannot interfere. The executive cannot interfere the functioning of the judiciary. The Constitution of India also has defined like that. Accordingly, the courts are functioning. If you take, the courts are in the three types. Supreme Court is the apex court and the high courts, and then the trial courts, the district level. So, the high courts are also doing their work effectively in the independent manner. The Supreme Court is monitoring all the judiciary matters, the Sazun untouched, whether they are working independent or not to be touched, not to make it correct, not to influence, not to interfere, which make, if the interference are allowed, which will make the judgments corrupted. The corruption back to judgment will destroy the judiciary, the nation also. So, in the interest of the justice, the Supreme Court is observing according to the Constitution of India. So, judiciary plays very independent role. It is a pure independency. It is protected by the Constitution, by the activities of the also judges of the High Court and Supreme Court. So, the judiciary plays a key role. If the executive does or commits anything wrong against Constitution, if the legislature commits and wrongs against Constitution, they are taken by the judiciary. The judiciary can take Swemuta also and decide the matters. As such a powers in the judiciary is having, that we have to think. So, the Constitution of India gives such a powers to the judiciary plays accordingly independent. So, the independence of the judiciary is protected in India. The recent example, that is the High Court judge, also the indictment, whatever may be in the result, but in the functioning and the process purely based on independent of judiciary. That is necessary in the interest of the justice to give such a judgments on the functioning of the executive and the legislature in India. That is needed. So the independence of the judiciary is protected. It will be protected further, and also in future, according to Constitution, the independence of the judiciary will be followed and will get followed by all the judiciary connected members. Judges I mentioned, all the FX court judges and also high court judges and the trial court judges also. It will be done in future also on the same criteria. That is a very appreciable one. As far as India is concerned, the judiciary stands a foremost one. It's a significant one. It plays a key role in giving a best judgments in various cases and defining the provision, giving a must explanation to the provision. It has laid in the best judgments and best citation to the future others also in the cases. That's why it plays more judgments and citation in the cases and get more orders, and which are necessary. The precedence which the independence of the judiciary has set in the judiciary is also significant. It will do in best also in future.